Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Judy Tan, Diamond Master. And following that, I feel a little bit, I've actually got goosebumps because it's so awe-inspiring. So, and I feel a little bit, it's hard to follow that act, isn't it? So I'm going to try my best. Chairman has already gone through the little details of how to actually fill in that life scenario. So I'm just going to share my personal experience and journey of how I went about that. Now, life scenario. If you Google life scenario, you get various definitions, right? One of them says psychology explains that life scenario is an unconscious plan created in childhood, which a person follows throughout their life. When I saw that and going, the words that jumped out at me is the unconscious plan. Now, don't you think that's interesting? Because what if we are taught to make that plan a conscious one, actually design it? So to consciously make a plan for how we want to live our lives, and for how we want our lives to be at a certain point when we grow up, for example. So now that is where Atomy life scenario comes into play. That's the difference between just the word life scenario and Atomy life scenario. Now, show of hands, you've seen the book, obviously, who has actually done one? Can we show hands, please? Not many. Who has actually tried to do one or even held one in your hands? Any? Just a few. So I encourage you to go outside and grab one, okay? Now, if you have attempted to complete one, how did you find the experience? Come on, just let me know. How did you find it? Was it easy? No? Hard? Yes? Impossible? Who found it impossible? I actually tried, and I personally found it quite hard. And in the beginning, the first time I attempted it, I looked at it, I tried to come up with, the goal. It was virtually impossible, right? Now, but if you have tried it, you need to actually persist. So I want to share with you how I got past that impossibility. Now, just like how we use the Google map to navigate our way to a destination, who here gets onto a map when you want to go somewhere where you don't know where to go or you're not sure? Who uses a map? Just about everybody, right? So the Atomy life scenario, the booklet, is just like a roadmap. You need to have someone to show you, guide you the way to your destination. Now, this is basically a tool provided by Atomy to guide us to a successful life in Atomy. Now, as I was doing my research, this data shows that there are basically 4 categories of people. 3% of people go and make things happen. 10% of people think or expect things to happen. 60% of people just watch things happen. 20% of people just don't know what happened. Okay? Now, which category are you in? Which category do you think you're in? Show me your hands who are in the 3%. Yes. And who's in the 10%? Or the 60%? Or who are in the 27%? Hopefully no one, okay? Right. Now, what we are asked to do when we set goals using this wheel, how do we do it? How do you know what your goals are? Do we all know what our goals are? It's really hard when you haven't actually sat down to think about what your true goals is. How do you achieve them? How do you take actions to move yourself forward to reach that goal? So if we could have the next slide, please. Now, I came across this Walt Disney quote. Now, Chairman talked about movie. So Walt Disney, who knows who Walt Disney is? He's the founder of the world Walt Disney, the Disney World. First, think. Second, believe. Third, dream. And finally, dare. You will have to think bigger, better, bolder about what we want to achieve, not just something small. And then we need to believe enough in ourselves. A lot of people don't really believe we're worth it or deserving, but we all are worthy of what we want in our lives. And many of us stopped dreaming because we were told by our parents or teachers to, not waste time. I used to daydream and fantasize as a child about life outside of, the country I was born in. I wanted to move outside. I wanted to live in Australia, for example. So I used to fantasize and just dream. But I was told, by the adults to focus and stop wasting time. But I did not want to stop. And then also, when we are told or taught to stop wasting time, we then stop thinking about the possibilities and we start to settle for what's given to us rather than what we actually could do, could achieve within our potential and our abilities, right? So dream, continue to dream. And then the next step is you need to dare to move towards that dream and move away from what you don't want. Now, the next slide, please. The more Walt Disney quotes that I like. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. If you can dream it, you can do it. The way to get started is to just quit thinking and just begin doing. Are we starting to see a theme here? Who do you think that sounds familiar? Chairman Park just said those same things, didn't he? Right? This is why I got goosebumps, because I was doing that without actually thinking that, and then he talked about it. So, you have to believe in your dream and then just go out and do it. Now, so this is where I'm going to share my life scenario. I'll just share starting from before Atomy. Next, please. I did my growing up in 2 countries, basically. I was born in KL, Malaysia, moved to Melbourne at 14, and finished high school and uni. And then I moved to Perth to study in 1993, met my husband, had kids, and then got married, in that order. I like to do things unconventionally. Now, all while working for someone, and then started my own consulting business in tax consulting. So that's my little business logo there. Then let's fast forward to 2017. There was a major life event. My dad, who I was really close to, passed away very unexpectedly. It made me question my life's real purpose. What am I put on this earth for? I started searching for my life's goals, and I attended courses, summits, conferences, whatever you can think of, I tried to go to. And also I explored and dabbled in business ventures and business ideas, because I didn't want to settle for just working for someone, making somebody else rich. I wanted to do something and create something myself. Next, please. Now, while on that journey, I came across this, as part of my research in my business ideas, I came across this little statue that came with a little poem saying that the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. That just kept telling me that I just have to take steps. So then, moving on to life after Atomy, after I met Atomy. Next, please. So this is my life scenario. And because of limit of time, I'm not going to talk about all of that. I'll choose 3 areas to focus on, okay? I'm going to talk about business, service, and learning because they mean the most to me at the moment. Business, I'm just going to jump straight to Atomy. I had the opportunity to go to South Korea in May 2018. I paid my own way because I was introduced to Atomy and I really, really wanted to see what Atomy had to offer. Now, with the generosity of Upline's amazing support, I got to visit Atomy headquarters, the Koma B&H, and attended my first Success Academy in South Korea. And this was just a capture of pictures of what the journey, and it was an amazing experience. Then the second Success Academy again in November 2022. This time I got to join the rest of the team, and I witnessed the promotion ceremony of the 13th Imperial Master. That was just unbelievable. That's the next slide, please. So just to have a quick look. So that's the second trip. And Chairman Park, we got up close and personal. It was an absolutely amazing. Now, this time I learned the most, and I got to meet and listen to many masters from other countries as well. And I got to take some extra leisure time with the team. So it was, and that was when I actually absolutely fell in love with the Korean culture, the Korean food. And then again, the third time, I went to South Korea again in October 2023. This time with one of my personal partners and with a big team of us from Perth. So it was very inspiring to watch new people experience what I experienced a year ago. It was just amazing. Now, building Atomy business is happiness for me because I get to do it with people that I love to hang out with and with people who I look up to. So, Imperial Master. So it's just amazing. Now, the last area is the service. In 2020 and 2022, I volunteered for community service and elected as president of Belmont Junior Soccer Club for 3 years running. And I led a team of dedicated committee members and successfully navigated the club through the COVID pandemic, and also taking the club into an electronic age and improved their financial position by over 300%. Also, I want to, going forward, continue to help and support center manager and Atomy members regardless of their lineage. Now, this is a quote that has been guiding me all along. This is part of my learning journey. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure if you can do it, just say yes. And that was what prompted me to become the president of the Junior Soccer Club. And that is also what prompted me to be here today. Because when I was offered the opportunity to speak, to do a live scenario, I was very nervous because I'll be speaking in front of Imperial Master and Advisor Kim. It was very daunting, but it's an amazing opportunity. I couldn't say no. I didn't know what I was going to say, how I was going to do it. I just had to say yes and then learn. So, and this is also part of the journey is I want to learn, continue to learn to be brave, to confront my fears. Now, I'm going to share something that is my highlight of this learning journey. Back in 2022, in my first attempt to write my life scenario, I did the bucket list. Right down at the bottom, you probably can't see it because I was too scared to write it down. By that stage, I knew that whatever I write down will happen. trust me on this. You have to try it yourself. So in the back of my mind, I've been thinking of doing something for 15 years, but just was too afraid because it was something like a phobia. And this is what happened. It was, the reason why it's so big is because of my fear of heights. That's the only reason. So now I cannot even describe to you in words how it feels, so I'm just going to show you. Come along on the journey with me. Look how I'm petrified. The nerves and the inner struggles on the climb up to 14,000 feet and the fear of falling was just unbelievable. But the sense of exhilaration and accomplishment is unlike anything I've experienced. So in summary, what I'd like to just quickly summarize is, what do you want to do with your lives that gives you the greatest joy? What is most important to you to do that is meaningful and means the world to you? That's what you want to discover. That's your goal. Now, next step is to connect. In order to reach that goal, you want to attend courses, conferences, seminar. No, hint, hint, one-day seminar, Success Academy, okay? Now, learn from and share that experience with your team, with your sponsors, leaders. Find someone who will work with you and just connect. Next is to just pursue. Turn your passion into a profit by building a business from your passion. And that's Atomy in essence. So that is, you have to find what drives you and put in your passion, your love into that action. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you this afternoon. I hope you gained some insights into what goals you might want to achieve and use Atomy's life scenario to help you achieve it. Thank you.